squash pigeon. Lovely. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I figured I would start the video a little bit differently, and I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of ideas that me and a friend at work have been looking at, and wanted to get your guys' feedback on it. First one being changing these grips on the R1. I'm thinking of changing them to either Domino or Renthal, but not quite sure which ones. If you guys have had any experience with either Renthal grips or Domino grips, please feel free to put it in the comments box down below and let me know which ones you guys recommend and why. Second idea that me and my friend at work have been talking about is forged carbon. Now, forged carbon is a bit of a touchy subject with a lot of people, in the fact that people don't really know what forged carbon is about. Forged carbon is just like normal carbon fibre, but instead of it being strips and weaves, it is actually basically shards, strips and shavings. Now, what me and my mate have been thinking about doing, we're going to be using the R1 as a project bike, and we are basically going to be making forged carbon levers for the R1. Once we've had a go at making levers for the R1, we're going to look at potentially making engine covers, just like what R&G do and GB Racing and such like, but instead of them being carbon fibre, they'll be forged carbon. And from there we will look at making things like infill panels for the R1, maybe even look at doing fairings for the R1 at some point, and potentially doing other bits and pieces like top yoke protectors, airbox covers, tail units, under trays and so on. So basically I'd want to know what you guys thought about doing that, and whether it be something that you guys would like to see on the channel. Because I want to try and make the R1 as unique as I possibly can, but without breaking the bank. Because as you can appreciate, carbon fibre, forged carbon, whatever you want to call it, is not cheap. But what we want to try and do, if the moulding process is successful with the forged carbon, we may consider branching out and doing other bikes and seeing how well it gets received that way. As you guys know, I am a big fan of carbon fibre, but it gets to a point where you've got to wonder to yourself, have I really got too much carbon fibre? Now, someone who's a bit of a carbon fibre addict like myself, no, you can never have too much carbon, but there has to be a limit, you know, before it starts becoming exceptionally tacky. And I think what we're trying to plan on doing, or should I say what we are trying to plan and do, is we are trying to make the R1 look tastefully carboned. So we're not doing everything carbon fibre, but we have discussed potentially making the nose fairings, the airbox cover, the side fairings and the tail unit, the under tray, all those bits in forged carbon at some point in the near future, and then getting the forged carbon sprayed over in white so you can still see the carbon through it, but it also means that I don't have to then get involved with the DVLA and have certain details changed on the logbook, because it will be still the correct colour. What do you guys think about having forged carbon on the R1? And I'm not just talking about a little smattering here and there, but I'm talking about a proper dedicated forged carbon look to the R1. The visions that me and my mate have in our head, or should I say the vision that we have and what we have spoken about, I think it's definitely doable. But it's time and obviously money, because when it comes to having these bits made, certain parts will have to be removed off the R1. Like for example, the hill plates would need to come off, the levers would have to come off, even to a degree, possibly even the crankcases might have to come off. Not saying they will, but if they have to, then obviously that means that the R1's going to be off the road for a bit. But I think what we might do actually, instead of taking the crank covers and whatnot else off the bike, we will actually buy some cheap aftermarket crash cases for the R1 and make molds from them, and then we'll basically go from there. But like I've also said, we will see how that pans out. It might work, it might not work, but we'll have to see how it goes. I'm hoping with any luck we'll be able to get at least the levers made in the next couple of weeks, just to see how good or how bad the actual manufacturing process is. And if they come out decently, then they will be on the R1 as soon as humanly possible. With any luck, once we've got these first initial bits made, we'll have a good basis to work from, have a good understanding of how it actually works, how the forging process works, and we'll be able to knock these things out quite easily and quite quickly. Because I'm hoping that if all goes well, like I've already touched upon, hopefully we'll be able to get the whole entire bike done in forged carbon, and I think it will look absolutely fucking amazing. I will be keeping a few accents of red here and there, i.e. like the levers, sorry, not the levers, like the grips, and maybe a few little accents here and there to do with the actual R1's original colour scheme. But that's kind of the idea that we've got going on at the moment. So it's very exciting times ahead, and if you guys would like to see the R1 adorned with forged carbon pieces, then don't forget, in the comments box down below, put hashtag forged carbon if you are a fan, and if you'd like to see the R1, like I said, adorned with particular forged carbon items, which will be made with my and my friend's very own hands. Well, maybe mainly his hands, but I'm hoping to have some part in it at least. So those are my ideas for the upcoming weeks. If you guys have got any comments or questions about the gear I use or the bikes that I ride, don't forget to put it in the comments box down below, and I will do my best to get back to you guys as quickly as I humanly possibly can. And thank you for sticking around to the end of the video, guys. It does mean a lot. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys have been amazing. I have been Lee, aka Rollin Thunder, saying look after each other, look after yourselves, stay safe on the road, be aware of COVID-19, be safe, be happy, and as always, adios!